Hello everybody, welcome back for another video. Hope you're all doing well and that you're all having an absolutely incredible day. To start things off, Bitcoin once again attempted to surmount the $10,000 region earlier today. Although this move proved to be futile as the cryptocurrency once again faced a harsh rejection, Bitcoin now appears to have fallen into the same trading range that has held strong support throughout the past week as its buyers and sellers reach an impasse. How it responds to this trading range could have major implications for which direction it trends next. Analysts are now widely noting that the cryptocurrency could be well positioned to rally higher in the days and weeks ahead as it continues trading above a key support level. This potential upswing could lead it to fresh year-to-date highs around 11,000 US dollars, although there is a key level that must first be surmounted. At the time of writing, Bitcoin is trading around 97.50, give or take, depending on where you're looking on the internet. This is around the level that it has been trading throughout the past several days. The cryptocurrency did attempt to rally up to 10,000% overnight, although this upswing was stopped short by an outage on cryptocurrency trading platform BitMEX. This outage scared investors and quickly led Bitcoin back into its tight trading range between 9,500 and 9,800 US dollars. That is a major problem. We're seeing far too many outages and shortages and unpluggings of cryptocurrency exchanges over the last 4 or 5 weeks. That is a very big problem. If a cryptocurrency exchange has that much power to where if the cryptocurrency prices are looking to move up and Bitcoin is looking to make a fresh new upswing, and all that has to happen is for BitMEX or Coinbase or any other cryptocurrency exchange to have an outage for 5, 10, 15 minutes and that scares people, that is a major problem. However, the news so far is the cryptocurrency market and Bitcoin's price and Bitcoin's movements and all that other good stuff look relatively optimistic, and they have been looking this way for the past week or so. For those of you not looking at the screen, the amount of articles that were out there talking about Bitcoin soon going to pass 10,000 US dollars were everywhere. This one says, Bitcoin price analysis, Bitcoin eyeing crucial upside break above $10,000. This one says, Bitcoin on the cusp of a parabolic breakout and local top at 10,000 US dollars. This one says Bitcoin seems few steps away from a picture-perfect resistance smashing. This one says Bitcoin prints critical golden cross as futures open interest hits record high. This one says Bitcoin forms elusive golden cross pattern as economic models forecast fresh highs. I think you get the trend that we've been going through the last couple of things. They all are optimistically, hyper parabolically bullish on Bitcoin's price. Bitcoin recorded its highest daily sentiment score since 2017. Now it looks like this bullish sentiment is spilling over into Ethereum, XRP, and Litecoin. Bitcoin sentiment is at its highest level, or highest on record, since 2017, following the halving. Positive sentiment is spilling over into Ethereum, XRP, and Litecoin as indicators show that these altcoins are ready for a bullish breakout. Some of the most prominent analysts in the industry have discussed the possibility of a steep correction that could see Ethereum plummet to $150. There weren't many prominent analysts. It was about 2 or 3 other people who have many times noted before that they are overall negative on Ethereum. So it's no surprise that they would have spoken about Ethereum falling down in price because they don't like it. However, the smart contract giant continues to hold in a ascending parallel channel that developed on its daily chart during the March market meltdown. Since then, each time ETH rises to the upper boundary of this channel, it retraces down to hit the lower boundary, and from this point, it bounces back again. This behavior is consistent with the characteristics of a channel. The market-wide correction before Bitcoin's halving sent Ether to the bottom of the channel. This support barrier prevented a steeper decline and allowed Ether to rebound, and they're talking about that it could hit this. We've seen this number a couple days before. People are talking about that Ethereum is looking like it's going to try to hit 240, 250. I think we saw a 275 as well on one of the other charts. People talking about exactly where Ethereum looks like it could be going to. And I think the other really weird one was, I think it said by summer or the end of the year. I forgot the exact time frame that they gave us, that Ethereum would try to attempt to hit 750 US dollars. I assume that is coinciding with the potential release of 2.0. Where's the other part? It says, even though Ripple drastically reduced its open market XRP sales last quarter, this cryptocurrency continues to disappoint investors. A massive number of tokens entered circulation since 2016, dampening any potential upside for XRP holders. Nonetheless, the cross-border remittance token was able to turn its 50-day moving average into support in the past couple of days, which is a reliable bullish indicator. A spike in XRP demand around the current price levels may allow it to break above the 100-day moving average, which could trigger a further increase in buying pressure. If this were to happen, XRP could rise to retest serious resistance at the 200-day moving average. It only seems logical, for those of you who don't know, when Bitcoin rises a lot, other coins tend to also rise a lot. And that's just how we've had it for the last 9.5 years since altcoins really came onto the scene. As of right now, all indicators are pointing to, all analysts are suggesting, that we could be on the cusp of a parabolic movement for Bitcoin. I see no real reason as to why not. We know that the interest is there. And more so, even as I go through the rest of the stories, it'll become abundantly clear that the cryptocurrency market and Bitcoin's price are probably very far undervalued. Anyway, yeah, let's move on. Next up, when Bitcoin crashed to, almost read it backwards, 3,700 this month, many were no doubt scared to invest. After all, when the crash transpired, there were traders, and prominent traders at that, seriously expecting the cryptocurrency to fall off of a price cliff. Sure. Longtime commodities trader and Bitcoin investor Peter Brandt, for instance, wrote on the day of the crash, he said, and I do quote, "If I interpret the chart without bias, I would say sub $1,000. For those of you who made sure to note, we were nowhere near $1,000, so whenever I get numbers like this, I always make sure to share it with all of you, because the numbers are always ridiculous. Because, yeah. Yet data has shown that since the crash, both retail and institutional investors have been accumulating Bitcoin at a rapid clip. There's been such a strong influx of Bitcoin buyers that it may be the accumulators, not traders, that drove a majority of the recovery from March's crash. According to crypto analytics firm Glassnode's co-founder and CTO Raphael Schuster-Kraft, the number of Bitcoin addresses holding at least 1 million Satoshis, or 10 million Satoshis actually, has risen by 14% over the past 12 months, and by over 200,000 addresses since the start of the year. He said there are now more than 3 million Bitcoin addresses holding at least 10 million Satoshis, currently valued at around $975. That's 14% more addresses than 1 year ago today. And here's a little chart right here. And it looks absolutely insane, and I assume this is only going to happen as well. A lot of people, what we've been seeing, what I've been paying attention to, is that the narrative still remains, get your hand, this is not financial advice, the narrative is, get your hands on an entire Bitcoin while you can. While it's a little pricey, a lot of people have been aiming for the 10th of a Bitcoin. It's more so that you have market exposure as opposed to nothing at all. And this is going to continue, especially as time ends up going on, or when around the time, should we one day see a $50,000 Bitcoin, that's also going to become a bigger thing to be able just to have $5,000 worth of a Bitcoin, which would be 10 million Satoshis. Of course, the interest is still there. The interest has not left. If anything, it's more so there since the halving. I've had a couple more people come up to me asking me what this Bitcoin thing is and should they be getting into the market. And I find myself often telling them not no, but I can't tell you. I don't know why so many people, I mean, listen, and I'm sure it's happened to you as well. A lot of people keep coming to me asking me if they should get into the cryptocurrency market, if they should buy Bitcoin. But whenever I've told friends before in the past, yeah, why not? You know, put some, like, little bit of money into the market. They either put very little, which like is insignificant. They put like $4 or something into the market, Or they put like several $1,000s, and then when the prices end up going down, I get all these panic calls and texts, and they're like, "Why is it going down? Did you see the market?" I'm like, "Yeah. What happened? The market's down by 9%." And I'm like, "Yeah, I told you to do your own research on this, and I know that they wouldn't or ever did. Their research was simply just buying it." So a lot of times when people ask me, I shrug and I go, "I don't know what a Bitcoin is. I have no idea what that is," because it becomes fatiguing trying to alert people and calm them and soothe them down as prices jump up and down. Everyone who was in the market before is still here. They're going to continue buying. We know that Bitcoin is a limited quantity asset, but there are a lot of people on the street. Where is this? My gosh, is like a parade or something? Is this a normal street? There's a lot of faces. Anyway, yeah, of course this is still happening. It's going to continue. And anyway, yeah. Let's move on. This is a very busy, this is really, yeah. Next up, the Bitcoin network just fine-tuned a key parameter to coax back miners who quit after last week's having hammered their profits. More than 20 exahashes per second of computing power, the equivalent of around 1.5 million older generation mining machines, that's terrible, have been switched off from Bitcoin since the network's halving. The 7-day rolling average of Bitcoin's hash rate has dropped from over 20%, from around 122 exahashes just prior to the halving on the 11th of May to now 97 exahashes. The 1 in 4 year event reduced miners' rewards from 12.5 to 6.5 BTC per block. The hash rate drop after the halving has significantly outrun the hashing sprints prior to it. As such, Bitcoin's mining difficulty, which measures how hard it is to compete for block rewards, decreased 6% to 15 trillion at 2 in the morning on Wednesday, the network's first bi-weekly difficulty adjustment since the halving. The amount of computing power connected to Bitcoin has been on a roller coaster ride over the past 2 weeks. So Bitcoin's mining difficulty has dropped. As such, the network is made to do so. If less people are on it, the difficulty readjusts and it starts to drop down, and therefore it becomes easier for people to hop back onto the network to be able to make some more profits. Tying directly into what we were just talking about, despite recent blows to Bitcoin's hash rate, Antminer S9s are returning to the network. Wow, surprise! The resurgence indicates that miners are confident in sustained BTC prices. After last week's halving, miners took their S9 ASICs offline as Bitcoin revenues dropped. Now S9s are making a resurgence as BTC prices rise, showing that miners have confidence in sustained prices above $9,000. Bitmain's Antminer S9 has historically been a popular mining machine, but newer, more efficient models have gradually replaced it. Following the halving, the S9 only accounted for 18% of the network's hash rate. Yet, this week saw a surge in S9 miners, with the devices now accounting for 32% of Bitcoin's total hash power. No one should be surprised. This is just how it works. Whenever it's such a, time is a fascinating thing. You might remember, I do remember, whenever we get news that Bitcoin's hash rate has gone down, which happens frequently throughout the year, if the kitchen gets too hot, people leave until they can come back to handle it again, or until the heat from the kitchen has lowered, whatever analogy you kind of want to use. This happens over and over and over, but we keep getting websites who either don't care about Bitcoin, don't care for Bitcoin, maybe care more about Ethereum, not this one in particular. They'll make sure to note Bitcoin's hash rate has dropped. This is terrible for the network. Everything is falling to the toilet. It's just completely bad, and only to realize that 4 or 5 days later, when the difficulty readjusts itself, that they turn back on their machines. It's been happening for years. However, the news is going to constantly be there. Bitcoin's hash rate has dropped. Lo and behold, more miners have returned back to the network, so all is as it was before, and one can only assume that if, mathematically, Bitcoin's price goes up and more miners join the network, that it'll continue in this flow, as it were, because people want to make money. And if they see other people making money, they're also going to want to make money as well. Logic. Let's move on. Next up, this should be surprisingly unsurprising to everyone. A higher education institution that trains Chinese party officials has published a new book about crypto currency. According to a local blockchain news report on the 19th of May, the Central Party School published a book as part of a book series on disruptive technologies. Previous entries in the series include a dialogue with party leaders about AI and a dialogue with party leaders about blockchain. The aim of the book series is to provide a source for party officials and the general public for learning about emerging new tech trends. Chinese central bank executives, commercial banking executives, and regulators were invited to write the prologue for the new published crypto book. Once again, for those, this is the 4th or 5th time that this has happened within the last 2 years. The Chinese government at some point creates a book, a PDF, a survey, a something that goes out to the masses. The first 1 or 2 iterations were that they took Andreas Antonopoulos' book, changed it from Mastering Bitcoin. They renamed it Mastering Blockchain. That's not a joke. They took the exact book and just kind of renamed it. I believe same insides. And then the second and third iteration were when they started to release information. I believe it was from the actual central bank of that country pertaining to Bitcoin and how good Bitcoin was and what Bitcoin is and how much money people have made from Bitcoin. This is why it's really weird, and you'll see the other news as well in a couple of minutes, because it all kind of leads me to speculate something must be going on behind the scenes. Something must be, listen, I mean, clearly something is. There's no way on this earth. Can you imagine if the US had released something? Imagine the US government releasing a book on cryptocurrency for everyone in the country to read. You would go, okay, well, clearly they want everyone in the country to use cryptocurrency. The news that we've been getting from said country here has been that they don't want people trading Bitcoin, but everything else shows otherwise. The book starts with the history and origin of fiat currency. Then it provides an overview of the current credit currency system and its downside. This leads to a section on the crypto movement and the birth of Bitcoin. The book continues to explore the nature and the future of digital currency and explains in detail what crypto exchanges and ICOs are. It discusses and analyzes regulation issues surrounding these new developments. A whole chapter of the book is delegated to the central bank digital currencies. It explains the strategy behind the digital yuan and the impact it would bring to the current payment system. This keeps happening over and over, and I am fairly certain, or rather my assumptions are very strong within myself, that at some point China's going to be like, yes, cryptocurrency trading is allowed here, but it's going to be regulated to heaven and back. Like, I can't stress that enough. But why would a government, why would a central bank take their time to create these things? You know how long it takes to create an entire book about something, nonetheless a book about cryptocurrency? Why would you do that? Anyway, this is part of the news that's everywhere news. This news is highly significant. The issue is it will have very little, if any, effect on actual prices. The fact that this isn't a one-time thing, if this had happened once, I'd be like, okay, that's kind of interesting. Like, it's more of like maybe they just really want people to understand the implications of exactly what's going on. Maybe it's they want to be ahead of the curve. When you keep doing this year after year and creating all these things, it's clear what's probably going to happen there. Remember I was talking about before that really weird PDF document download thing that I had found last year and I couldn't find it again? I found it. I was so happy. For those of you not looking at the screen, you really should be looking at the screen unless you're driving or holding a child or making hot food. This is that really weird PDF that we had last year. I believe it was from the Central Bank of China. I can't read Mandarin, ergo, yeah. However, just look at the photos. It's very weird. And that's parts where it talks about Satoshi Nakamoto creating Bitcoin. Peer-to-peer, I got that part. And then it shows like pictures of people. Is this very weird? Like this was made by the government. It shows pictures of people mining. It shows like the actual like block rewards, like how many Bitcoin are produced during the entire thing. 12.5. The one we just had is 6.5 Bitcoins per block now. And I think the 2140 is meant to be when the last Bitcoin will ever be mined. And then it shows charts, numbers, things, people. And this is the other really weird thing where the guy's like proposing to his girlfriend And then she starts smiling. Someone translated this before in the comment section. I don't know who you were, but thank you. They said apparently it has to do something with like, she gets happy when he tells her that he has a Bitcoin or something like that. It's all very odd. Why would you, as a government, the 10,000 Bitcoin for one pizza. Why would you take the time to create something like this to inform people of something that you planned on banning? They even have Libra here. Bitcoin going down to 3,200, Bitcoin hitting $20,000. You see how odd this all is? It's all very... Anyway, this is the really weird PDF thing that we were talking about last year that I've been mentioning many times. I just could not find the actual thing before, but it does seem rather, the word isn't blatant, like evident. No one, bread or what? No one would waste their time creating something like this if it didn't have meaning. I don't know what word I'm trying to use. The point is, it's very odd. I'm certain at this point, you'll see. Anyway, let's move on. Like, they even have a website. Come on. All right, let's move on. According to new research, the assets under management of cryptocurrency-focused hedge funds has doubled in 2019 compared to 2018. Despite some challenges in the field, Bitcoin remains the most frequently traded digital asset, with Ethereum and XRP following, logically, as 1, 2, and 3. According to a report citing the survey compiled by PricewaterhouseCoopers and the digital asset investment company Elwood Asset Management Services Limited, cryptocurrency funds have increased their assets under management to more than $2 billion at the end of 2019. This represents a jump of over 100% from the 2018 amounts of approximately $1 billion US dollars. Funds accepting only long positions, better known as discretionary long-only funds, okay, logically, marked the best median performance at 40% and an average gain of 42%, the survey explained. Discretionary long-short saw equal increases, 33% of gains and medians. Of course, one can only logically assume that more people are getting into cryptocurrencies. The fact that PricewaterhouseCoopers is paying attention to cryptocurrencies lets me know, and lets you know, you should know, that a lot of people are clearly getting into the cryptocurrency space on the institutional side. The rich people have been here for a very long time. They're just now sticking their neck out. Was it yesterday that I read this, or did we go over this, or did I read this somewhere else on the internet? Where it was discussing like the time is nigh kind of thing. Like there's so many other institutions who are very hush-hush for years, and all of a sudden, now they're all popping out talking about their support. Like, do you know how big PricewaterhouseCoopers is? For them to even think of having a survey or even mentioning cryptocurrency is extremely huge. Like they are, don't they have like trillions under management or something? I don't remember the exact number. The point is, of course, they're here. They're buying up, they're accumulating as much as possible. And I assume this is also leading to the shortage of crypto assets currently circulating, as they are probably buying up in mass. Like if you get any type of indication that the stock markets are potentially going to continue going down, but you see that the stock to flow ratio for cryptocurrencies, especially Bitcoin, is probably going to do a 5x or a 10x in price over the next 1 to 2 years, you choose where the money goes. Anyway, yeah, that's that news. Is this Here's the actual survey. It says cryptocurrency hedge funds survey hints at big quant disparities. This is the actual article of the survey on BNN Bloomberg. And without further ado, let's move on. To finish things off, remember when I was just ranting about the whole China thing and cryptocurrencies? This is why it's completely evident. Cryptocurrency exchange Binance has registered a domain name with the Chinese government. According to public records, the Ministry of Industry and Information Technology in China approved Binance's domain name, Binance.cn. I wonder what that could be for. The domain name is registered under the company's Shanghai Binance Information Technology LLC, which is a similar pronunciation as Binance in Chinese, Binance. The government record also shows that Binance registered the domain name under the company Shanghai Binance Information Technology LLC. As Chinese crypto media site Chain News first reported, the only legal representative, good job. The only legal representative of the company, Junshi He, has 2 other companies registered under his name. All 3 of the companies were registered within the past 3 months and possess names that pronounce similarly to Binance. On the website, Binance claims to be the world's first leading blockchain ecosystem developer and has been dedicated to the development and commercialization of the blockchain technology. As the site states, the service it aims to provide in China includes consulting, research, development, charity, and investment in the blockchain industry. It also issues or includes a series of explanatory blog posts on a few basic concepts in blockchain cryptography and finance. Listen, Binance has registered domain names in China. It is very difficult to get domain names in China. Binance is a cryptocurrency company that sells or trades or allows the selling, trading, holding of cryptocurrencies. Do you see where this is all going? I mean, it's clear as crystal, clear as glass, which is clearer. It's clear as nothing being in front of you. You can touch the darn thing. It's clearly evident to me. I am going to assumption right now that Binance is probably within the next couple of months, I give it, let's say July, August, is probably going to announce they're opening up shop in China. It's not going to be the same kind of shop we've seen in other countries, but they're probably going to have an over-the-counter trading desk, which is going to be absolutely massive, which would mean, in essence, after all this stuff we've just been going through, I mean, first of all, cryptocurrency is already legal in China. I think you just can't, you're not allowed to trade them. And I think you can use them to pay for things in certain, I don't remember, I don't know the laws. I'm not there. The point is, crypto is legal in China. You're legally allowed to hold Bitcoin. This is why they keep creating these really weird photo things over and over. And now the fact that Binance has also, listen, come on. It's clear right there. Bam, in your face. The point is, yeah, don't be surprised if we see a huge influx of people from that country getting into the cryptocurrency space. And then everyone's like, you know what? My worst fear is people only react when other people react. If in 3 to 5 years, 70% of all the Bitcoin in the world is held by people in this country, please don't get upset. I can already hear the people talking about centralization, how they get all of it, because they've been paying attention to it. Why is it that many other countries around the world are simply not paying attention or not accumulating or not actually? Do you see where all this stuff is going? I was reading in the comment section yesterday, somebody was talking about that when I said follow the money within the cryptocurrency space, it's clear that all these mega institutions are in the cryptocurrency space. Follow the money. Why would they all be putting their money into the cryptocurrency space? All of these companies are not putting their money into crypto to short it at the exact same time. You don't invest $1 billion hoping to lose $1 billion. That's not how money works. When we get indications in news that all these countries are starting to accept cryptocurrencies and have it as remittances and have it as legal and have it as so-and-so, it's clear where the industry is going. I can feel it. In the future, there's going to be 1 or 2, I give it 2 countries in the world that are going to have a massive amount of crypto. They've been buying for years. And at some point, everyone else is going to get really upset, start screaming centralization, but it has nothing to do with that. It's just that they caught on before everybody else. Like this is why I mentioned before, we're going to have a huge influx of people coming into the cryptocurrency space when the prices are too high for normal people to get in. And they're going to be like, oh, I wish I had learned before. Why didn't anybody tell me centralization? It's like, no, not centralization. Like they knew, they paid attention, and therefore they get to reap the rewards. Anyway, I'm telling you, I'm having these oracle moments. Anyway, just heed my warning and let's move on. As always, a very special thank you to my Patreon supporters. Hold on, I have to sneeze. Crayola Michelle, URL on Crypto with Ligo. On Crypto with Lionel. Tigger Much, Anissa, Bake Me a Cake, Arfmedic17, Anytime Fitness, Monks Corner Staff, Bodie McBoatface, Yes to Crypto, Miller Hitch Test Every Day, and Cal Skips Leg Day, Minting Coins, Jeremy Fox, Jim Garner, Anthony Charles, Nick Man, Jalavori, Paxis, Vlad the Impaler, Richie Rich III, Nick Kanaya, Setsuna Damien, Nicholas One Earth, One Peace, One Love, Crypto Artist, Coldy 3D, Bankroll Network, Adobo, Crypto Joe, 242 to the World, Wise Night Owl, Jared Schneider, Master Ventures in Thailand, Moham Maroni, Adam Graysick, Todd Mullis, A Bibliophobia, The Animal Reader, John Sarson, Nostromo, Chongo Lolo, Tsongo Lolo, Martin Steuer, Joshua Vineyard, The Pothead, Moonman High XRP, Yasha Harari, Utopia 569, and Professor Wally from Gunbot University. Thank you all very, very much for your support. Thank you to everyone who has subscribed to the second channel, the other channel as it were. Thank you to everyone who is a member of this channel and any other thank yous I forgot. There are always so many thank yous to thank you. At the moment, the price of Bitcoin is currently, at the time of me making this video, $9,776 US dollars. Just went down by a couple of cents. The market's sideways up and downing. It's like, and then all over the place. So, yeah, we'll see exactly what ends up happening as the rest of the day goes on. It is apparently clear that we were on our way, trying to be on our way to 10,000. That BitMEX thing is really weird. I can't, we didn't have these problems before. About a good year ago, there weren't many crashes or turn-offs of cryptocurrency exchanges. And now for some reason, the last couple of forever, they've been popping up a lot, and it's not really good, especially if we have like upward momentum. Imagine a situation where Bitcoin is just about to have a really crazy move from 11,000 to 14,000. And then 3 cryptocurrency exchanges shut off, and then prices fall back down to 8,000. You have to get that together. You can't be in a multi-billion-dollar space where your website can't handle a couple extra thousand people going to trade. That leads to not good stuff. Some coins are up. Tezos is up. Cardano's up. Chainlink is up. Zcash is up. Woo! Yeah. It kind of is what it is. Okay. Good job on Mise Ghost. It's up by 14%. I guess the hype is real. I guess good job on everybody who picked up on Mise Go when it was less than $1. Yeah. I think that is definitely going to do it for this video. I do hope that you all enjoyed. I do hope that you all are having a great day, a great morning, a great afternoon, a great evening. Really, wherever you are, wherever you might be. Life is crazy right now, so just take care of yourself. Thank you all once again for watching and or listening. This is wild. Like, this is absolutely wild. Like, they created this. They created a thing that tells people about the history of Bitcoin. Why would you have done that? Thank you all once again for watching and or listening. And I will most certainly, without a doubt, be talking to you all soon. See you.